before, you found that it was easier to pretend that you were not feeling. I'm not against the non-duality. I've experienced and I have practiced A Course in Miracles for years, and the Way of Heart, which are books and philosophies that teach us the non-duality. Yes, we are all one, we are a whole, but at the same time, nature is expressing naturally in your natural and perfect way and imperfect way. The perfect version of you is the natural and imperfect way because that is the perception of the ego. Your authentic personality is the best version that the perfect nature created. In this fast paced culture that teaches to get rid of all the symptoms that we have, to put covers into the results and not take out the root of our illnesses, of our pain, of our suffering, in either the mental, the physical, or the emotional planes. Easier to think that surrendering is believing that we are a whole one and you shouldn't attach to your thoughts or to anything. I'm not saying either that you have to attach to those. What I'm saying is that in this case, the detachment, as it has been talked about, is not the actual detachment because it's actually not a mental concept. You can only detach when you have been the hero of your journey and you have passed through that forest. You can only be the hero of your journey when you have taken the role of the real hero. We were educated in this fast-paced culture to either sedate. We just changed the medicine, your normal practitioners, to take our symptoms, and now to the healer, someone that takes out my experience because I cannot handle my experience. Again, I'm not feeling enough or worthy. Somebody that can be my dad or my mom, because I believe at some point in my childhood that my parents were my saviors. So I'm looking for a savior outside. Being an adult then doesn't mean saying we are all one and I will pretend that I'm not feeling, because then you are avoiding yourself. Your soul, which is a real you, decided to have a physical experience. And in this physical experience, even though you can experiment and do astral journeys or do whatever, your soul decided to live in this plane because your soul wanted to learn something from this plane. And it's stressing sometimes, of course. But the one who gets stressed because wants to control things and wants things to happen the way it wants is our personality that was created from the trauma. It's our personality that believes that by controlling or avoiding, things are going to way the way it wants. How do we sedate and control? Not only with normal medicines or pills, that of course you have your own process, but also with alcohol. Alcohol works as sedation of our feminine body, and other substances like cigars or cigarettes work as a way to control our emotional bodies. You're controlling your masculine self. You're using that malfunction of your masculine self. When you sedate, your feminine side is working in a malfunction, and when you control, your masculine side is working in a malfunction. Let's say marijuana, for example. I have taken it, so that I'm not talking just like saying it's well used. A lot of use. It's been used a lot in spiritual circles. But the marijuana, when it's smoked, works as sedation, and as a control. There is no higher frequency than being here, now, authentic, and sober with your life. That being present with commitment with your life. Then accepting that abundance is listening all parts that I have listened, including the ones that I don't like. I take my time to listen to those and release those emotions. When I release those emotions, I release as well all the families and roots that were causing me those bad thoughts in my brain. And I decide to stop avoiding because I want to be the hero of my life. Everyone is in their own journey. I'm not saying now stop taking your anxiolytics or anxiety pills. What I'm saying is that those pills are a temporary resolution to something that has roots well and deep in your childhood, in your emotional body, which is your shadow. You don't allow yourself to feel what you have to feel, and you pretend that you want to avoid and take out whatever you're feeling right now. You won't be able to go through it. Sometimes we are so scared about that because we don't want to repeat what we felt when we were children. I'm not saying that the deaths of the ego that I have had, which have been physical, mental, and emotional, and have passed through different stages, are better or worse than yours. Not at all, because your experience is perfect as it has been, and you deserve to accept that your presence is valid. When you give validation to your experience, you start developing more emotional maturity. You stop avoiding the hard conversations. You stop avoiding the hard emotions. And when you feel those, you are going to take out from the root all of those bad thoughts, and you will be able now to manifest from a higher frequency, which is the frequency of present moment awareness. There are a lot of talks about attachment style saying that this is the avoidant and the narcissistic, but most of us, when we act from the ego, which is the personality, we act narcissistic because our ego wants things to happen the way it wants. And we avoid because we tend to avoid feeling our feelings and try to get the other to save us in some other way. Or we use drugs or food or whatever to avoid what we came to surpass, to be the alchemists of our emotional body. Now, instead of tagging the other as narcissist or avoidant, it's time to see how we are avoiding ourselves and give a chance, give us the chance to gain confidence in that we are able to feel what our soul is asking us to feel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next week.